Welcome back to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. My name's Connor Williams, and we're back with another one of our end of season player reviews. This time it is on Nathan Patterson, the young right back, bought last January, I believe, or this. When did we buy him? Last January, wasn't it? Yeah, 2022 January, under the Rafa Benitez sort of era, if you can call it that. Just about managed to stomach saying that. But yeah, let's see how we got on in the 2022-23 season. So he started 14 games, subbed on for 5, subbed off for 3, managed to get 1,277 minutes under his belt, which is, very decent, bearing in mind he had an injury for some of this season, got injured with Scotland, so missed a couple of games, a couple of months of games. So that's not a bad going for him. He's got 3 yellow cards, an XG of 0.5, no goals, 1 shot on target, 3 off, created 6 chances, 472 passes, 23 dribbles attempted, 11 of them successful, 49 tackles attempted, 24 of them won, 36 clearances and 15 interceptions, which is very good going for a right back in the interceptions stats. Very, very impressive indeed. We now look at his stats a little bit more in depth. We'll go down the list. So he has about 0.4 shots per game, 0.1 of them being on target. He's missed 2 big chances. He's got a 0.71 expected assists, but no assists. He's got 46.5 touches per game, big chances created 1, 0.3 key passes per game, 19.8 accurate passes per game, which is an 80% accuracy, which is very, very good. Accurate crosses, 0.2 a game, which is 10%. That could be a little bit better, guys, if I'm going to be picky. We're so used to having good fullbacks at Everton that could cross the ball in when we think of, Baines and Coleman in his prime. And that's unfortunately what this lad is going to be compared to. A bit like how when Luca Dean came in, people were like, he's no Leighton Baines, but he's not half bad. Patterson is going to have that with Seamus Coleman because it's a player that is, has been a very good servant for the club for many years and a top player. So the crossing could be a little bit better, but depending on who we have up front, if we're playing Muay Pai, that's one of the bigger problems. He's not going to win headers. He's got 2 clean sheets, 0.8 interceptions per game. That's very good for a right back. 2.6 tackles per game. Wins possession 0.2 times. Been dribbled past 1.3 times. Clearances per game 1.9 times. No errors that led to a shot or a goal. No penalties committed. 0.6 successful dribbles a game, which is about 48%. Wins 4.4 total duels, 3.8 ground duels, and 0.5 aerial duels a game. So his aerials could be better, but he's not a very tall player. He loses possession about 10.8 times a game, which again could be a little bit better. Gave away 0.7 fouls, was fouled 0.7 times. I guess that balances out in the grand scheme of things. Like I said, predominantly plays down that right-hand side. Tucks in a little bit centrally, obviously when defending to keep narrow, but predominantly on that right-hand side, which is very, very interesting. Compared to the rest of the Premier League, we'll get him up now to compare his percentile to the rest of the Premier League. I can't imagine him coming in very highly compared to the rest of the Premier League because of the lack of games. He's a young lad still. He's got, time. So yeah, in terms of progressive passes, 1.69 per 90, which is in the bottom 4 percentile of Premier League right backs or fullbacks, sorry. Progressive carries, 1.13, just under the 30 percentile of the Premier League. Successful take-on, 0.77. That is in the 68 percentile for the Premier League fullbacks. Tackles is where he really excels, 3.545 per 90. That put him in the top 96 percentile. Blocks puts him in the top 90, and clearances puts him in the top 80. Other than that, it's not great. FB Ref have got him compared to the likes of Mikalenko, Serge Aurier, Maitland-Niles, Semedo, Kyle Walker-Peters, and Seamus Coleman. Like I said, he is 21 years old. I said 19 before, but he's 21. He's a young lad. He's got loads of potential still. Um, he's not the finished article, but you can see already, in my opinion, when you watch him play. And I think the stats have backed this up as well. You see what he's good at and what he's not good at, and we just need to work out whether what he's good at is what Everton need or not. So, for instance, I think he's a good tackler of the ball. I think he's a good blocker of the ball. I think his passing, aerial duels, and crossing are all very weak, which could be a problem, bearing in mind Sean Dyche likes to get balls in the box. He likes to try short passes and likes to cross and tackle. Liking to cross and being good at crossing are a lethal combination. You've got to be good at it if you're going to try it. Maybe that's something he'll develop as he now that Sean Dyche is there and as he gets older. But yeah, that's the main one. Is crossing. I think is quite poor, and that needs to be improved a little bit for me, for the way I think we're going to set up next season. But overall, like I said, he's a 21-year-old lad. I think Everton are going to give him the time needed. I can see him being at the club. If he ends up not being good, we won't try to push him on till he's at least 25. So he's got 4 more years to, grow and develop before the club start looking at him like, need to get rid, don't we? That's probably one of the luxuries of playing for Everton is we're renowned for keeping players that are no good. So you're going to get given time as a player by the club. So yeah. But yeah, Nathan Patterson, I think he's had a tough season. He's been injured for bits of it as well, only managing 14 games. Due to that and due to his injuries, I'm probably going to give him a 6. I just think he's unfortunately had a tough season. Hopefully next season we see better of him, and we see him regularly. Seamus Coleman, he's been a great player this season, but I think it's, having to depend on Seamus Coleman season after season is a little bit worrying. I think it's about time some new blood came in. That's all I've got time for. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and comment down below your thoughts. Look forward to reading them, and I'll see you guys soon.